I'm Ellie.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Mari.
As you can see for our topic, we are doing caffeine intake. Our question was, do you drink caffeine before lecture? And we chose this topic because it's very prevalent in society and especially among nursing students. For my study, it was about caffeine consumption and its effect. It had 272 students from two Northern Indiana colleges, and they found that overall they had poor sleep quality and that caffeine did not equal a healthy living style. And so, as nursing students, we want to find healthy habits that could maybe include different things other than caffeine, and we want to educate people about that.
All right, so in research that was done by Butcher and others, they essentially gave out this cross-sectional survey to 120 students in Northern Indiana. This survey was on a Likert scale with some of those questions that are listed in the provided image below. And with this, they found that 75% of those students did consume caffeine at least once a day, with influencing factors being that they liked the taste, the stress, and the overall social aspect. However, all of those students did note that there were negative effects to doing so, which included sleep disorders, mood disorders, and decrease in concentration, which ultimately go to show that students need further education as well as some healthier alternatives to caffeine consumption.
What is the effect of caffeine on academics? So, a descriptive cross-sectional study design by Dalwi et al. 2024 in Makkah region of Saudi Arabia decided to do a questionnaire via social media to 593 medical students on their relationship to caffeine and their academic grades. So, the key findings of this were most students actually drink 1 cup of coffee a day. Because this is so little, it was hard to find an association to academic performance. But what was found was that one should try to limit the amount of caffeine they consume.
This next research article discussed the caffeine intake among undergraduate students. It was a cross-sectional survey completed by Riera Sampol and his colleagues in 2022 using 886 undergraduate students from university in Spain between the ages of 18 and 25. The key findings of this survey included that 91.1% of all participants did report consuming caffeine and that coffee was the most common source of caffeine intake. It was also reported that those who consumed caffeine also experienced poor sleep quality, and those who are female, who also regularly consume alcohol and or use cannabis, were more likely to consume caffeine as well. And in conclusion, it was found that the majority of undergraduate students do consume caffeine regularly. So the sample of our research study, so the population that we were researching was undergraduate nursing students enrolled here at Purdue University. We had 8 total participants. All 8 of these were second-year nursing students, and we used a convenient sample method because it was easiest for us to find those who were friends with us and who were in our classes with us. So for data collection, we use ordinal and descriptive qualitative data. We ask the participants 2 questions. Do you usually drink caffeine before attending a lecture? And what type of caffeinated beverages do you drink before a lecture? We collected this data using Google Forms. The participation was voluntary and responses from the participants was kept anonymous. And our data analysis and findings. So for the question, do you usually drink caffeine before lecture? 75% of the participants responded yes. Thus, we found that it is common for undergraduate nursing students at Purdue University to drink caffeine before a lecture. And for what type of caffeinated beverage do you drink before a lecture? It was found that the majority of those who do drink caffeine consume coffee or energy drinks.
So we found that our findings were consistent with the studies that you guys have seen. So caffeine does not improve academic performance despite the popularity seen through our Google survey, but caffeine can also lead to poor sleep quality, and it is important to practice moderation when consuming caffeine.
All right, so in conclusion, from all of these studies, including our own study, we found that a majority of college students are regularly consuming caffeine. Even though there are those health implications such as sleep disruption, mood disruption, and a decrease in concentration. So, with that said, we really need to focus on our education and really increasing the amount of workshops that we're having on college campuses and the infographics that we display, as well as encouraging students to ingest healthier alternatives or even just doing activities that are going to promote their energy otherwise. And here is our references.